Hello everyone, Adam here with an episode of Should You Buy. This time I'm focusing on ToeJam Earl, Back in the Groove. If you want to read my full review, it will be in the description below. So ToeJam Earl, Back in the Groove. This is more of a reimagining of the 1991 classic. ToeJam and Earl venture to Earth to try and impress their dates after stealing a ship, or in their case they borrow it. They crash the ship after Earl he actually follows ToeJam's orders, hits the wrong button as per ToeJam's orders, and crashes the ship. They crash on Earth and they have to find their ship parts or they'll be stranded forever. What begins is you just venture into a series of environments in the hopes of locating these ship parts while using elevators to get to each location. For the most part, it plays identical to the 1991 classic. You'll walk around the environment, avoid hostile Earthlings while also asking friendly Earthlings for help, which range from XP boosters to regenerating your health. Speaking of XP boosters, there is an experience system in this game, but it's extremely bare bones. It helps boost your stats for each of the 6 characters that you could play as, 3 of which are unlockable as you play through the game, so it's 9 in total. But the statistics that you get through the experience system are pretty standard. You get speed, luck, extra health, and other things. You collect a lot of items, and most of them are presents. These presents offer unique bonuses such as spring shoes, but they also can be traps such as bombs or root beer that causes you to burp uncontrollably. There's a type of luck and gambling system to it where there are spinners which determine what stats you get if you get enough experience, whether the present is booby-trapped or not, and a lot of other things. So the game does rely heavily on luck. Fortunately, there is a statistic to that, so you can actually benefit yourself by getting more luck. But since luck is randomized, it's not always beneficial to you. Mostly the game plays like the 1991 classic, which I did play. I'm old, but I enjoyed the game throughout. The problem is, I don't think newcomers will thoroughly enjoy the game as much as I did. I probably saw this through rose-colored glasses, but for the most part, it captures the essence of ToeJam and Earl as you just look around for these ship parts and hope that you get the true ending, which requires you to play through the game on normal. If you play through the tutorial and then try and get into the actual game by playing it on easy, you won't get the true ending. You need to play through the game like that. There's also 2 more harder modes, which randomize the entire environment, but for the most part you'll be walking around these areas in search of the elevators and the ship parts. It plays well. I will say that the biggest hindrance of the game is the graphical style. As you can see here, it's a type of cel shaded game that looks very much like a Flash game, which isn't bad. It does complement the atmosphere, and the soundtrack is definitely a plus, with the finale having a unique song sung by ToeJam and Earl. But the graphics, they just feel so dated, like something out of the Xbox GameCube era, not something you would see from even Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, or even nowhere near modern era games. But for the most part, if you did play the original, you'll probably ignore it, but newcomers will be like, this looks very bad. In terms of actual gameplay, it is about exploring. It's very much like an adventure game where you just search the environment for all these items. You get things in order to pursue more things, and then the game ends. It's not a truly exciting narrative, but it's serviceable. Ultimately, I was satisfied with ToeJam and Earl. It's definitely a classic reimagining of this cult classic. There's very little issue, unless you really hated the games or never played it, that you shouldn't give this a try. But for the most part, it does deliver on what it promised, the return of ToeJam and Earl. So if you love the original, this is more of that and you'll enjoy it definitely. But if you've never played ToeJam and Earl, ask yourself, do I enjoy walking for long distances while I look for key items? If the answer is no, this won't appeal to you. So those are my opinions. Tell me yours in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, and if you want to read my full review, it will be in the description below. And as always, everyone, stay awesome.